Hey, I'm Kyle,
And I'm Jay.
and today we're going to talk about some dwarf teams. Okay, the first team we're going to talk about is a standard dwarf team.
Now, this is pretty much how your run of the mill dwarf team is going to be. Right out of the boot, you got a good variety of players, starting off with our Troll Slayers, ending off with our Longbeards. All right, going back to the Troll Slayers here. Troll Slayers have a decent movement speed, not great, average strength, and below average agility. 8 armor, pretty solid. These are going to be the ones that are going to be knocking skulls around. All have block. They got thick skull, so if they get knocked down, there's a good chance they're not out for the whole game. They got dauntless, in case they come up against some things that are stronger than them. These are going to be your big player killers, and frenzy to follow that up. These are going to be very aggressive players. These are almost like blitzers in their own right.
Yeah,
All right,
these
let's move on.
these are some pretty important guys. Definitely cornerstone stones of a dwarf team.
Yeah, no dwarf team is right without them. All right, moving down to the runners. Not a lot to say about these guys. They got 3 agility, but the big 6 movement speed. Still slow in the grand scheme of Blood Bowl, but pretty fast for a dwarf. 8 armor class, and with sure hands, and again they are dwarves, so thick skull. They'll be able to pick up the ball and get it moving at least.
Yeah, you're not going to have throwing offense with dwarves, but these guys are definitely going to be able to pick up the ball, get caged around, and march down the field.
Yeah, the blitzers are, as I call them, the runners 2.0. The only thing that these are lacking is the one movement skill and sure hands, but they do have block and that big armor of 9, which means if once you purchase this player, he's going to stay on your team more than likely.
And they got some pretty sweet help.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
All right, standard player, Jay, the Longbeard.
All right, in terms of your white bread of players in the dwarf team, these are probably the highest of all players in Blood Bowl. Real slow with 4 movement speed, decent strength 3, agility. They're not going to be picking up the ball, but 9 armor. Again, going to be on the field for a while, and accompanied with block, thick skull, and tackle. These Dodgers are not going to be able to get away from you, and you're going to be able to handle most things on the field.
Yeah, like you said, the agility kind of hinders them, so does the movement speed. But with this combination of skills and that armor, they can take a beating and deal one out too.
Yeah, the Dwarves aren't a very versatile team. They're a good team though, and what they do is one thing, and they do it well. We had to take a little bit of sacrificing on. We got our 1 apothecary and our 2 rerolls. We'd like to always see 3 rerolls, but the dwarven players are a little more expensive.
The next team we're going to talk about focuses around the Dwarf and Death Roller.
Yep, the Death Roller, the king of all dwarves. This thing is nasty. Very slow, but 7 strength, 1 agility. You'll be surprised it actually picks up the ball sometimes, and 10 armor. It's going to get thrown off the field, but it's going to cause some damage while it can. It's got break tackle, which means don't feel bad about dodging out of player zones because you're using that big old 7 strength, which means you only fail on a roll of 1. Dirty player, so getting some late hits in, some dirty hits, always fun, especially when you got a player that's going to get off the field anyway. Juggernaut going to be plowing through players. Mighty Blow, as everyone knows, one of the strongest abilities in Blood Bowl. He's going to be killed. This is your team killer here. This is anybody with armor, 8 and below is pretty much off the field. No hands, he can't pick up the ball. Intercept, carry the ball. You know, his whole job is to ride around on a big death machine. Secret weapon, as I was saying before, he's going to get thrown off the field as soon as the ref catches wind of it.
That's what them bribes are for.
Yeah, stand firm. Stand firm. He's not going to get pushed around. He's going to sit there by himself. and then Loner, one of my most hated abilities in all of Blood Bowl. We got a 50% chance of actually being able to use a reroll for him
Yeah, and as soon as you need it, it's gonna mess you up.
every
Almost
single time.
guaranteed.
All right, moving further down the team, we got our most beloved Troll Slayers. Probably my favorite player in all of Blood Bowl is these Troll Slayers. Got them wonderful, good orange highlights.
Oh yeah.
Now we've been over their movement speed. They got a movement of 5, strength 3, armor 8. Pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely the MVP of this team. The rest of the team's gonna just be these long beards.
Yep, Longbeards are pretty solid. They're inexpensive and they get the job done. The only thing we have here is because of how expensive that death roller is, being 160, we would like to have an apothecary to back him up, but we're gonna have to earn a little bit of cash to be able to afford that.
Yeah, we do have the 2 rerolls, which may or may not help, but you don't have any fan factor and you don't have that apothecary. So you try to do as much damage with that death roller in the beginning as humanly possible, and then you only have 10 players on the field after that.
Yeah.
So
So you're gonna be looking to try to buy another Longbeard as soon as possible, or runner, blitzer, just trying to fill in slots.
definitely after the first game, if you do pretty well, you should definitely be able to buy that apothecary right off the bat. And if you win, you'll have that fan factor after that.
Yeah, which will help you out a little bit.
Okay, the last team that we're going to talk about is our snowball or our steamroller team.
Probably the funnest of the dwarf teams here. Again, as we were saying before, we're all Longbeards, all down the road. Longbeards, probably one of the best basic units in the game. Don't look to run the ball very much. You're just going to be smashing and bashing all the way through, trying to earn as much money and star player points as possible. And hopefully, some of these Longbeards will start evolving into decent players. Now, with this setup here, this frees up, as we know, the 9 fan factor, which, we're coming in as a fan favorite. We're going to be earning lots and lots of cash. And with 2 re-rolls and a couple cheerleaders and assistant coaches, we're going to win a couple rolls too.
Now, there's no apothecary here either. But once again, we touched on how expensive these players are.
On
And
top of that, with an armor class of 9, you're going to lose a player eventually. It just happens. It's the luck of the roll. And but it's highly unlikely.
yeah, it's gonna be hard to lose one of these guys at first, unless uh, the dice god
No.
is is not in your favor. But yeah, I mean, you should easily be able to win the first game. As long as you get one score, you can hold off pretty much any team with this, band of misfits.
Yeah, you're just going to make a line across the field and hold back whatever
Yep.
they got coming for you.
Block.
Get a couple players with Dauntless, get a couple players with Mighty Blow. You'll start steamrolling pretty quickly. This is a really fun team build.
Yeah, I recommend if you're playing one of the AI competitions or something like that, try this team out. You'll have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we only got 3 teams for you today. There's not a lot of options with dwarves. They're pretty much a one-trick pony. Um, but these are some variants here. If you got any ideas or your own teams you want to put out there, let us know down in the comments.